The Odyssey of Frederick Douglass. In an age of chains and shadows, there was born a child, a boy, with eyes that saw beyond the fields of his captivity. They called him Frederick, but destiny called him something greater. For even as the world told him he was nothing, he carried within him a fire that could not be quenched, a hunger for words, for truth, for freedom. In the quiet corners of forbidden rooms, he learned. A whisper became a word became a weapon, and from the light of a single candle, he forged the dawn of his own awakening. Others dreamed of escape. He dreamed of enlightenment, for he knew the mind once freed can never be enslaved again. And so he journeyed across the waters with only courage as his compass and hope as his sail. Through fog and fear, the river carried him not away, but toward himself. When he stepped upon the shores of freedom, the boy who was bound became the man who would speak for the boundless. Then came the storm of his words, a tempest of truth that broke the silence of centuries. He spoke, and the walls of injustice trembled. He roared not with rage, but with reason, and the wealthy and commoners alike turned their ears to the voice once silenced. But freedom bears its price. His name, once a beacon, became a bounty. Men who feared his light sought to return him to darkness, and so he fled across the sea. To the shores of Britain, he carried his message, and the world listened. In crowded halls and open squares, his voice echoed like thunder, calling nations to conscience and hearts to action. And when his words touched the souls of strangers, they joined hands in unity and purchased his freedom so that he might return to his homeland not as property, but as a man reborn. He came back to the land of his birth, not in chains, but with a mission to help break the ones that still remained. As a freedman, he raised his voice higher than ever, founding a paper he called the North Star, its light guiding others toward the same freedom he had won. And when war darkened the horizon, he walked into the chambers of President Abraham Lincoln, not as a servant, but as an equal, a man of conviction, speaking truth to power. Together, they spoke of liberty and how the promise